and welcome to Sports Talk on the Friday night edition. We are live at the WJRG studio. Me and Big Don. What's up, Big Don?
What's up? What's up?
How you doing, my brother? Welcome back from
rock
Atlanta.
and roll, boy. I had a great time.
I know you had a great time in Atlanta. Showing the Atlanta
great
Braves.
time.
Atlanta Braves and everything.
Braves right there in the stadium, live.
That was a great interview, brother.
Yeah, well, I want to fly out there. I haven't seen all that. Also, we have all the way in Maryland. What's up, brother Larry, my brother-in-law? How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing great. Blessed.
I know you're
Blessed
blessed.
to be here.
And the legend himself, Bruce Austin. What's up, Bruce? How you doing, bro?
Hey, man, everything's beautiful, brother.
And every moment move. A good friend of mine's, Kendall Tyson. What's up, my brother?
What's happening? What's happening, Jerry?
Every moment moves.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm glad to have you back. Larry brought up about Deion Sanders, Larry. You can bring that up again. We'll talk about that for a minute. I'll move on.
Yes, because Deion Sanders had been out the spotlight. It's going on now. It was almost 3 months, okay? And he finally made an appearance because the Big 12 showdown, they interviewed all the coaches, and they wanted to make sure he was going to be back on the sideline. And he said he's going through something, but he said God will bring him through. And he said he's not going to tell nobody about it right now, but when it's over, he will have a testimony. But the thing is this, they asked him, was he really into coaching now since his sons are gone? He said he loved the game. He wouldn't have did it for no other reason. It was not just for his sons to put an appearance. And he says he did do a job at Colorado, and that's what he's going to do.
But he's sick real bad, though. Is it a bad sickness?
But they've been talking about his health situation, but nobody will say what it is. But they've been talking about he hasn't been healthy.
Wow.
He's even been in the hospital. They've been talking about it, but nobody seems to know what it is.
But he's keeping it hush-hush.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
The way he wanted it, seemed like.
Wow. Kendall, you hear anything more about that?
No, but I think it's counterproductive. I think that there's a power in prayer. I think all that secretive stuff, all that, drawing attention, even when he had the other situation, the turf toe, he got the toe amputated and that sort of stuff. When people do that kind of stuff, I think they block their blessings, to be perfectly honest. We're in a gospel show. Just my opinion. I just believe that when you're going through a little something and you reach out, prayer does help. I believe so.
It does help. You ain't got to tell me it helps.
But I think there's so many naysayers that want to see him fail. I think he don't want to give no more ammunition than what they already have. They want to say he had this, say that. She said, go ahead, but he's not going to put it out there. And I think, especially with him coaching at Colorado and it'd be his first year without his sons, I think he's doing what thing is safest for him.
Okay. Yeah, Bruce, you got any comments on that?
Yeah, I agree with what Larry just said. He keeping his business to himself because he know how people run their mouth, especially against him and his family. So I agree with everything everybody said.
Sure. And I can sympathize with that too, because people, they want to see you in the grave.
Yeah.
If anything bad, they automatically put you in the grave. So it ain't nothing positive from a lot of folks. But to your point, Kendall, you need prayer. You want God to bless you.
And he could be getting it. He just want it all over the TV.
Because he's a spiritual. He talked about God in many occasions. A lot
Absolutely.
Of this scene. Oh yeah. All right. So Larry, thanks for that. Any other football news, Larry? You got what you want to share with me or what?
Yes, with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts want to be, he want to take more control on the team and get everything he can do. But I think he was going about the wrong way when he was trying to get press Jordan. Of all the people, Jordan plays basketball for one thing. He got that drive, and that's something you're born with. Either you have the drive or you don't. You know what I'm saying? And how he can win so many consecutive NBA championships. I think he would have been better talking to some football people that has been through it, because football is more of a team sport. And just like Jim Kelly been to 4 consecutive Super Bowls.
Right.
We're not talking about win or lose, but to have that kind of drive and have your team there that much, because Jim Kelly would give them the secrets where my boy for KC ain't give up the secrets yet until he retires. So, and even as the GOAT, what he do as being how he can become a team representative, and how he can guide this team and be the captain, because for years he was just the quarterback, not really like right now. We got more input on what's going on. He needs to take better control of the team,
All right. Anybody got any comments on that?
Yeah,
Jalen Hurts?
yeah. I think I'm a big Cowboy fan, but as a sports fan, I think Jalen Hurts is one of the most disrespected quarterbacks in the league.
Think so? Okay.
He did stuff that nobody else was able to do, and that's bring down the great Mahomes. He should be 2-0 against Mahomes. They want to put everybody in front of him, guys, and they never won nothing. They want to put Joe Cool in front of him. He can't even make the playoffs. That's very disrespectful to Jalen Hurts. Any quarterback that ever won it or got close to winning it, they had good players, and they looked for the quarterback to bring them over that line, and that's what Jalen Hurts did. He'd have been to the Super Bowl twice. He won it. He won in the Super Bowl. I think he went 2 out of 3 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people still want to
No,
say
not 2 out of 3 years. Not 2 out of 3, because
2 out of
KC
4
won-
years. 2 out of 4
KC won
years.
2 in a row. So
Yeah, but 2 out of 4 years, and people still want to say it's the team and not him. You know what I mean? But nobody else can get close to doing what he did, and that's beat the great Patrick Mahomes.
Go ahead, Don.
Most disrespected quarterback in the league.
Go ahead, Don.
I'm not sure what is Hurts saying that he don't get respect or that he should.
No. That's me, because when he went to the Super Bowl first time,
He want more control.
He want more control. Well, that's what I thought it was talking about. I think he need more control, because when you're the quarterback and you're out there on the field, sometimes you can see things that they're not seeing on the line, and you need to be able to go your way. I feel a lot of quarterbacks will do better if they had more control. And when it comes to Baltimore Ravens with Lamar Jackson, I definitely feel that's why they lose a few, because he don't have the control he needs.
Great point.
What can you football, man?
Jalen Hurts, all the way back. Let's start from the beginning. Jalen Hurts was benched for Tua Tagovailoa in the Alabama game. Tua won the national championship. Jalen Hurts sat on the sideline. Tua got to another championship. He got hurt. Jalen Hurts goes in, wins the championship. I mean, then now he's not even looked at as a first-round quarterback, so he has to go to Oklahoma, follow Kyler Murray, and Kyler Murray, and what's the other guy? Oh my God, I will think of his name. Little short one, won the Heisman.
won the Heisman.
Yeah, won the Heisman. Follow that route, huh? Yeah, that's Tampa Bay now. Yeah, but now,
Baker.
Yeah,
Baker
yes.
Mayfield. Baker Mayfield. Then he goes to Philadelphia, and just like you said, he's not mentioned in any of the top 5 quarterbacks. When you do top 5, you don't even mention his name. So he plays the game the way he plays the game, revolutionized the game, gets behind that line, plays really smart. All of a sudden, they get this thing now. I call it a tush push, and he pulls it off. That thing cannot be stopped. This guy wins the Super Bowl, knocks off, the great Pat Mahomes, and literally the only other person to do that was Tom Brady. It's got to be mentioned among the greats. Now, guess what? They decide they want to take that tush push and outlaw it. Green Bay Packers, the one who said, you know what? We can't deal with this thing because he's doing something that's pretty unstoppable. I believe that he has earned the right to say whatever he needs to say, to get whatever control he needs, because guess what happened? As soon as he got the running back that he needed, Saquon Barkley, he won a championship. The guy's winning championships. It's not even about the stats. When it's all said and done, we're going to look back and say this guy got 2 national championships with Alabama. This guy literally got a Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles, 2 Super Bowl appearances,
And
and has a
MVP.
play and MVP, and has a play that's resembling to me the sky hook, something that can't be stopped.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So hey, this guy is like, he can say whatever he wants to say. He's revolutionizing the game, quiet as it's kept.
I never looked at it like that, man. Where you say you comparing the skyhook to the.
You can't stop it. They want to outlaw it.
That's a great comparison, man.
Yeah, they outlawed the dunks when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was playing college.
Right.
They want to outlaw the play.
That's why he developed the hook.
Kenny, you talk about the sky hook, right?
Yeah.
A Kareem sky hook?
Yeah.
All right, what about this here? What about this one here? Wait, before you came on, that was Kareem and Will Chamberlain.
That's what I'm talking about.
You think Chamberlain getting that hook or what?
Well, listen, if Chamberlain got it that time, he didn't get it that many times because Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was the all-time leading scorer. And that shot scored more points than anybody else.
But you know, the funny part about it, look how high both of them are.
Yeah.
Chamberlain is so high, you can tell he wants that sky hook bad.
But the reason I said that Chamberlain didn't block it because look where the ball at. The ball is at the end of Jabbar's fingertip.
Oh yeah, he's flipping it up.
That means that he's getting that shot off.
Yeah, he's flipping it up.
You know what I mean? If Chamberlain was blocking it, his hand would have been a little more closer to that ball. Especially where that ball at on Jabbar's fingertips. That means he almost letting it go already.
I disagree.
His hand is right there with the ball.
What you're saying could be right, but also Chamberlain could still be climbing and get that ball out the air. So you're not looking at
that.
And
he was a national high jumper, so
don't mean that he didn't keep climbing and get that ball out the air.
How you jumping?
Chamberlain
Yeah,
was
but I can't deny that either. I can't deny that either.
Because he was determined. Just
I can go with that.
But Kendall, like my question is that one of the best rivalries in NBA history? Kareem and Chamberlain and Bill Russell?
Gotta be. Kareem and Chamberlain, Bill Russell's gotta be. They defined that entire generation. They were the prototype big men. I mean, pretty much Bill Russell literally had a great team. Those stats will never ever be duplicated ever. Best stats ever. Look at that, man. That's a crazy stat line.
One game.
Yeah, it's a crazy stat line.
53 points, 32 rebounds, 14 assists, 24 blocks, and 11 steals.
Come on, man.
He must be playing against midgets.
Even the steals for 7 foot to get 11 steals. Come on.
He's got to be the best athlete to ever play the game, according to what he did in track and field and how strong he was.
Yes, sir.
So we know what a triple-double is, but what's that stat called?
That's got to be the a forest quadruple. That's got to be a quintuplet.
Yeah, but I had to throw that up there when I saw that one. I said 53 points, 32 rebounds, 14 assists, 24 blocks. That's 24 blocks, man. And you done blocked 24 shots that could have been a basket and 11 steals. I mean, Jordan, Russell, Kareem, Larry, your boy Magic, right?
Michael, LeBron James, keep going.
Come on, Michael, LeBron,
Kobe Bryant.
You can put 2 or 3 of them guys together and you won't get them stats.
You won't get those stats ever.
And that's in one game, they're saying.
That's nasty, man. That's nasty.
Well,
I got one more question. I want to know, everybody tell me about who's coming out the East and why.
Who's coming out the East?
Who's coming out the East and why? Bruce, let's start with you. Who's coming out the East and why?
Well, I'll be honest with you, man. It's too early for me to predict that because there's too much stuff going on right now. You know, no team really in the East. It's really settled. Indiana is messed up for next year. Boston is messed up.
I'm not talking I'm talking about the football.
All right.
I'm talking about your Cowboys.
All right. I thought you were talking about basketball.
Me
sorry.
too.
I'm talking about your Cowboys.
Now we can talk.
Let's talk.
Yeah. I mean, that's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be real interesting. I mean, right now the favorite got to be Philly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The favorite got to be Philly.
Gotta go with
You know,
Philly, man.
anybody else is just trying to get there. But I got to go with Philly coming out the East. For the favorite.
I'm
They
going
the
with
champ.
Philly, man.
They the champs, and they didn't lose much. I mean, they lost a couple guys on defense, but they still got their main core.
They lost 4 people on defense.
Yeah,
They
they
lost
lost.
4.
Right,
4
right.
starters.
That
Yeah,
gonna
but
hurt
they
him a
still
lot.
got their main core on
2
offense.
defensive linemen.
I think the defensive back too.
And with 2 defensive back, they lost 4 starters.
Yeah.
They got replacements, but the only reason I think Philly can do it is because of the offensive line. If you
Yeah.
look at Washington gonna have a heck of an offense, and too many people ain't gonna be able to stop them. The defense might give a lot of points, but Washington's offense, they're gonna average about 35 points a game.
Yeah, but we got to see if he's gonna have this sophomore jinx or not.
They got so much talent.
But it's gonna be hard to duplicate that his rookie year, man.
No, but if you get better, they got better on offense.
Yeah, but I'm talking about his production. You know what I mean? Everything that could go right for a rookie quarterback, not only a rookie, a veteran, happened with him. It's hard to duplicate that. You know what I mean? They looked at this guy. He didn't have too many flaws. I mean, that's very unusual for a veteran, never mind a rookie. You know what I mean? So if he able to duplicate that, it's gonna be a good series between Dallas, Washington, and Philly. I think Dallas is gonna surprise some folks. You know what I mean? I think they're gonna surprise some folks. They're gonna be right there in the mix.
I think it's going to be Philadelphia, and Washington will be in second place. I think Dallas is just too inconsistent. They haven't made enough changes for me to convince me that they're going to be okay. I think Philadelphia is following that program that started with John Riggins, with the Hogs. Then all of a sudden, Emmitt Smith had them boys, had Larry Allen, had that offensive line. And they started realizing how important the offensive line is. The Philadelphia Eagles still has the biggest offensive line in the history of the NFL, and they even have the best running back. What are you going to do about that? I mean, until you stop them. They have to know that these guys are going to go back. I have never heard of a Super Bowl winning team, and all of a sudden a whole bunch of owners and coaches decided whatever play they have, whatever they're doing, they want to ban that. That's deep. They didn't even ban the blindside rush after Lawrence Taylor did that thing to Joe Theismann, because they realized that, man, if this thing keeps on going, what are you going to do to stop it? Stop it. And right now they stayed offensive line loaded up. I don't see Saquon Barkley doing commercials or anything like that. Maybe one that went in which he's sitting in the field and stuff like that, but he's not cutting up. Them boys are probably trying to come back and win it again. And Pat Mahomes ain't gonna be, he ain't gonna just lay down. I'm convinced he is the greatest to play. I'm going to go on the record and say Kansas City versus Philadelphia in the Super Bowl. Period. I think this is the rivalry. I think here we go. We got Tom Brady and Peyton Manning and Eli Manning all together. I think these two right here, Philadelphia Eagles, Kansas City Chiefs. Everyone else sit back and watch. Even Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson, he's going to really be what word I want to use, in desperation mode. He got to get to the Super Bowl, man.
Yeah, but I think it was Donald. I think it was Don that said that.
Y'all gotta let me get my Philly in there. Y'all just right off the subject. Don't let everybody get their little points in there.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead,
I
Don.
want to say that I think Shay Khan this year gonna flip over 2 guys this time, and then he's gonna start getting his commercial and everything, and they're gonna give him another drug test. It's great this year because of him.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And I will go with Jerry on Baltimore. I mean, if Lamar don't do something soon, the windows always start closing in on you and run out. He got to do something. That's why I said he need to start making his decisions. Because every time they get around where they could make the playoff or something, they start doing that stupid stuff by not letting him really run the ball, not letting him make his own decisions. And I think that's what's messing them up every time.
That's what I was going to say, Don. I was going to add on to what you had said, but you broke it down. I mean, he need more power, man. I don't think it's him. I think it's the coaching, because they did the same thing back to back. They helped him back from him doing what he usually do in the regular season. You know what I mean? They did it 2 years in a row. So I think he definitely need to have more power, more say so.
Lamar Jackson has literally scored. He literally passed for 4,000 yards and rushed for 900 yards, and no one's ever done 4,800. I mean, pretty much he's capable of throwing that ball for 4,000 yards and rushing 1,000 yards. He will and is the all-time leading quarterback rushing, and we've had Michael Vick and Steve Young play that game. Lamar Jackson is the greatest individual talent as far as rushing is concerned. Pat Mahomes is the greatest individual talent when it comes to passing that ball. That boy's giving 5,000 every year, and he's smart getting out of the situation. And Jalen Hurts has won a Super Bowl with those two guys playing. That's just saying something right there. We literally can go ahead and say at this time, right now, today, we're probably looking at, and I'm gonna look back. I'm gonna say, Tom Brady, greatest. You got to go with Peyton Manning, great. Joe Montana, great. You got some great ones. But literally, we are looking at two of the best to ever play, and Jalen Hurts has a Super Bowl while they're there. That's saying a lot, man.
Larry, I got a question for you, though. Josh Allen, what kind of pressure is he going to be under? If Lamar Jackson's under pressure, what about Josh Allen?
Tell Josh Allen to give Lamar Jackson back his MVP. Sorry.
Hey, Lamar Jackson, if he don't win this year, it's a do or die year, because they got so much talent, especially on defense. They picked up 2 All-Pros on defense, so the secondary is solid. They picked up another wide receiver. He got all the receiver help he needs, and he got a great running back. So if he don't get it done this year, I'm talking about
Super Bowl.
I'm talking about he needs to get to the Super Bowl, because the Ravens been fluctuating too long. It's too long, or the window's going to close on them. And talking about Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, this is not going to be his year. He's not going to make it. He don't have a chance, because they don't want to pay the running back. And he did great things for them last year. He kept them in a lot of games. He made a lot of big plays.
For sure.
They think they don't need him. They haven't improved that much. They haven't even worked on the receiver core. I think they stand still, and they're not going to Super Bowl next year.
Bruce, you agree with that?
I think, honestly, it's maybe five legitimate guys that's got the pressure on them to win, or at least get to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Prescott, Joe Cool for Cincinnati. You know what I mean? All these guys, they put on pedestals, man. They want to put all them up on pedestals early in their career without them proving anything. And they got another boy down there in Jacksonville that was the #1 draft pick. And they had big talk about him. Yeah. And he haven't done anything.
Yeah. Trevor. Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's 4 or 5 guys that really got to prove themselves. Herbert got a new coach. He's supposed to have a pretty good coach now. They were blaming the coach. Oh, this guy good. He just can't get a team around him. Now he got Harbaugh around. He got him. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of guys are going to have to prove themselves. So I wouldn't say it's definitely pressure on one or the other.
All right. Kendall, you got something to say on that?
Yeah. Well, as he's mentioned, like I say, I'm sorry to go back to the Jalen Hurts and to Lamar Jackson, who's in power. Lamar Jackson's in making movies, man, playing an assassin. He's playing a killer for this in a series Power.
I didn't know that.
And,
I didn't know that.
yeah,
Lamar
he's in there. Lamar Jackson, yeah. Yeah, he's playing a killer, working for this. Yeah. He's doing his thing. You know, he's doing his thing.
Whole thing, and I didn't remember seeing Lamar Jackson.
Yes, he is. He's in there. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, no.
He's one of the killers. He's a new killer that showed up for the guy that just came back from the dead.
I gotta watch it do that. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, like I say, think about that. You got a lot of talented quarterbacks that are out there playing. Herbert is a talented quarterback. Josh Allen, once again, please give Lamar Jackson back his MVP. That reminded me of back in the day when Albert Bell had 50 doubles and 50 home runs, 147 RBIs, and they gave the MVP to Mo Vaughn, who had 147 RBIs, but he had like 30 home runs. Because, you know, I don't know, maybe he's surly when it comes to the reporters. I think players should be making the votes instead of other people. I just think that a lot of these quarterbacks are under the gun because they were what? The next big thing. All these Trevor Lawrence, #1 quarterback, sure shot. Jacksonville, he's going to win some championships. Bobby A. Herbert, man, he's doing so good. These quarterbacks are doing so good. But some dude in Philadelphia who was what, 2nd round draft choice, 6 foot nothing. He ain't no 6'6" or nothing like that. But he has a high football IQ. Got himself a Super Bowl, been there twice. It just says a lot. It just says a lot for him on how he's utilizing what he has, the offensive line. And guess what? Stop him if you can. I don't think they can. I think they know. Here it comes again. Lose our defensive guys. It's okay. We got the best offensive line and the best running back and a smart quarterback. I let him have a lot of say-so. I sure would.
I got a question. Would you say is an easier road for Philly to get to the Super Bowl than for somebody like Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen in the AFC? Does Jalen Hurts got an easier road to the Super Bowl? Would you say?
I would say so.
Okay.
I would say so because look, Josh Allen's a stud, man, and Lamar Jackson is something different. I mean, there's some great quarterbacks. Listen, I mean, my man, listen, you still got the boy in Cincinnati. You got some stuff going on in the AFC. I think Jalen Hurts has a clear shot.
I highly disagree with that. I mean, how can you say with
I'm asking
these teams, how can you say that he got a clear shot?
I think he has a clear shot.
No. As good as Washington played last year.
Well, I'm sorry, Washington. That's true. Yep. Thank you. Yeah, you're right. Oh,
look at the teams.
Listen.
I mean,
but
hey, Bruce.
Even though Washington played good, well, was they better than Philly though? You can play good, but if Philly got a better team.
Philly was anybody in the
the
AFC better than Philly?
In the AFC better than Philly? No.
Right. All right then. They're the champs, so ain't nobody better than them.
Right. So they're the champs.
They're the champs.
I see Larry ready to say something.
I tell you, he caught Mahomes on a bad day.
He caught
Mahomes on a bad day. With a better offensive line, and he won his game. When Philly play this time around, because they're gonna meet this time around, if Philly get there, and he's gonna close the show, because that's what Mahomes do. You know.
Let me ask you something, Larry. Let me ask you something.
And he's got a harder road to go through too, because the Ravens are stacked.
Larry, the first time they played in the Super Bowl, Jalen Hurts had a bad game too. Had a bad day.
Thank you. That's what I was gonna ask him.
So the third time they meet,
we'll
decide that.
Hurts should be 2-0 against Mahomes.
Come on. You can't change time. You can't do like Dallas. Dallas can be 2-0 in the Super Bowl too, but he didn't make it.
Yeah, but you talk about Mahomes had a bad game. How can you do that and not go back in time too?
I said,
how can you say that only reason he won because Mahomes had a bad game?
No, I said the only reason. Mahomes got 3 Super Bowl rings. He got three.
We talking about that game.
That's not a joke.
He could have by your logic, with him not playing good,
He got
The
3
way-
by 28. Think about that. 3 by
Yeah, but listen,
28.
yeah, but listen, the first time they played each other in the Super Bowl, do you agree that Hurts outplayed Mahomes in that
No,
first Super Bowl?
no.
Come on, man.
He
Come on,
Jalen
everybody
Hurts
that
had a
watched the
good
game.
game. He had a good game, but he didn't
No, he
outplay Mahomes.
outplayed him. He
When
outplayed
it
him.
came to showtime, when it came with the money on the line,
No.
if you get that money, guess what? Think about that.
Yeah, well, in that case, he ain't supposed to have no bad game then and blame it on that when he lose.
There's no second place. There's no second place. Only one. They don't remember the loser at any Super Bowl. You don't remember
Who
the
in
loser.
first place? Who in first place right now?
Right now, before the season starts,
No. I'm saying who in first
Philadelphia
place right now?
Eagles.
the Eagles, right
All
now.
right, then.
Before they play KC.
No. They beat KC to become the champs.
I said before they play KC, they number
No,
one.
before they play KC. They the champ right now.
Oh, you guys
Hey,
don't know.
but if I had a dog in the fight, now think about this. Dog in the fight. I won the Super Bowl 5 times. I KO'd 3 of them. Jalen Hurts been there how many times? He showed me showed twice. He 1-1. 50%. Who would you bet on?
Now you're trying to make me tell a lie. See, why you trying to make me tell a lie? You know good and well I'm putting my money on my homie now. Come on now. Don't be misled by what you thought I said.
Hey, but without a doubt, I watched them games when my homie supposed to went down, and that boy pulled something, a rabbit out his hat.
Hey, I don't disagree with nothing you saying. I don't disagree with that. I still think he the best, but I'm saying people need to stop disrespecting Hurts.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
You know
Because
what I mean? If we're gonna keep Mahomes at number 1, I would love to see them say that. Look, Hurts is definitely number 2. That might all that Josh Allen and Jackson and all them.
they ain't proved nothing. They can't get up the hot seat.
That's what I'm saying.
And I think Lamar, if
Still got
Lamar
time,
don't deliver, if he don't deliver, with
That's
all the
what I'm
talent
saying.
the Ravens got, they loaded. They loaded.
Still got time, Larry. And every season is different. Every year is different.
But we talking about what they accomplished up to this point.
Hey, I got a question. You know, we're talking about disrespecting Jalen Hurts, right? And that sort of stuff, where I think he's a great quarterback. He won. But back in the day, before he hurt himself, he's famous for getting his leg broken by Lawrence Taylor. But back in the day, I remember Joe Theismann for the Washington Redskins, John Riggins. They won themselves a championship, and Joe Theismann was a great quarterback. Why isn't Jalen Hurts a great quarterback? In the same, I mean, pretty much they're sort of kind of identical players. You know, I mean, I just started thinking about that. You got me really thinking about the disrespect of Jalen Hurts when this guy has earned the right to be considered among the greats based on the fact that he literally has an unstoppable play, the tush push. He's 1-1 in the Super Bowl. He's got 2 national championships for Alabama. This guy is lining it up, man. I mean, if you put him on paper, this guy is looking like he's trying to go to the Hall of Fame. So, I mean, why are we disrespecting him? He's winning. Period.
You know why?
That's
You know
a
why
great
they
point.
disrespecting him? Because he's not a rah type of guy.
Okay.
He more laid back. You won't even know he in the room if you go.
Yeah. But isn't that what you want as an athlete? He's not making the news, married his girlfriend.
Right. I want him to take care of business on the field.
And he does.
That's all I want.
Larry, is which girl coming back? Kelsey? Is he coming back for okay?
Yes, he's coming back.
Yeah, he's coming back.
He's 100%.
Y'all say he's gonna retire last year though.
Nope, he's coming back.
Now he's coming back. He's better than ever. He's been working out hard.
Yeah.
He's looking good too.
Oh man, he's looking good. You didn't see him yet.
He looking good.
No, they're showing him. He's coming back.
He looking good. He
Yeah.
pumped up on the weights.
I thought he would though, Jerry. I thought he was gonna retire.
He's not on no honeymoon this time. He came back to play for real.
He's coming back and they're bringing his girlfriend.
Nah, he gonna leave her to the side. He gonna leave her to the side till we get that Super Bowl. Till we
Yeah,
get that Super Bowl.
he
He
missed the
ain't going
limelight.
on no cruises. Ain't going to Bahamas. He's staying home.
He
Hey,
missed the
one
limelight.
thing, ain't,
Is that
ain't nobody saying that's a fake relationship no more.
No.
Bruce, is that him doing that commercial? Where's the Mogul show don't work? He went to his friend's house to watch the
No,
game.
that's his brother.
That's his brother.
Yeah, that's his brother.
That's his brother.
Yeah.
Hey, his brother wild, man. His brother
Yeah.
wild,
Yeah.
man.
And his
They
brother
cut
got
down
a
on the
championship for
commercials, too.
Philadelphia.
Yeah,
Oh, so his brother got the
His
commercial.
brother did retire.
Yeah.
yeah.
But he
His
got the
brother
commercial.
retired.
His brother should have won the KC. He should have switched teams.
He
Not
wild,
retired.
man. That's a wild dude, man.
If Chelsea would have won, he would do that commercial, Larry. All right? I'm watching it. He said, and then he goes to the guy next to the house.
Yeah.
You know, the guy's watching TV. And I said, I thought that was Travis. His brother.
No, Jason Kelsey.
All right,
That's the
Jason,
older brother.
he got the
Yeah.
commercial. They won. They won the Super Bowl, right?
Yep.
Yep.
That's right.
Got him a ring.
Larry, since you got OKC up, my question, I'm going to go to basketball for a minute. How good can this trio be? Can it be up there with Bird, with Kale and Parrish and Magic, Kareem and James Worthy in the future? Dennis Rodman, Michael Jordan, and Scottie Pippen. What you think?
We can't crown him yet. Because I see some weaknesses. Like
Okay.
sometimes William can play out this world, and sometimes he can't bring it. He's not on the same level as what's the he think he's on the same level, but he's not on the same level. You know, some days, some series Williams didn't play that well. Like when they played the Joker, he ain't show up in that series.
Okay, but let me tell you, Kareem, Magic, and Worthy Hall of Famers. Bird, Parrish, and McHale Hall of Famers, and Scotty, Dennis Rodman, and Michael Hall of Famers. So that's kind of unfair for me to compare them guys with them because these guys are not even in that category yet. SGA is going to be a Hall of Famer.
SGA going to be a Hall of Famer. All the rest of them are questionable.
Right. What do you think, Bruce? Okay,
I think Jalen Williams definitely gonna be a Hall of Famer. You know, don't forget these guys just finished. They not even finished their rookie contract yet and got a extension. All three of them got a max.
All three of them got max extensions.
You know what I mean? And they're not even finished with their rookie contract yet. You know, Holcomb and Williams. So they already proved what they could do. See, Williams is the Scottie Pippen. Right. SGA is Michael Jordan. You know, not to say the same game, but that's the role that they playing. Right. But he gonna be all right. See, Michael Jordan got to be perfect all the time. Scottie Pippen don't. That's the role Jalen Williams playing. He don't have to be perfect all the time, but when you need him, you see he came through and put up 40 on him. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But in order for them to be talked about, they got to win at least back to back.
Yeah. All right. Let me go down and I go. What do you think about those three guys, Don?
I think time will tell. I think we're anointing them too fast. So I'm going to give them a little time. Not this year.
Give them some time.
Yeah.
Because they disappointed me a little bit when with Indiana. They should have took them out.
Especially Chet Holmgren. He had some bad games too. And I'm not sure under that kind of pressure, we got to see how he do next year.
Go ahead, Kendall.
Well, I have I see it differently. I remember back in might have been like a year like 1985, a couple dudes got together, did this thing called the Super Bowl Shuffle. They only lost one game to Miami, but they went on to win the Super Bowl. They stuck together. Yeah. One thing about them guys, they stuck together. I'm watching TV. I see these three dudes doing a commercial together. I see them hanging together. I see the fact that Shea Gilgeous-Alexander bought them Rolexes, not only this year, but last year. He takes care of it. They look out for one another. And guess what? The guy from LA Clippers, Kawhi Leonard, wanted Paul George so bad that they got rid of Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Jalen Williams was a draft pick. Chet Holmgren was a number one overall draft pick. And they get together now and they win a championship. And there's some young people. I'm not going to anoint them now. But right now, the NBA has been around for a whole lot of years. And I've never seen three young people. I mean, Magic Johnson, of course, but three young guys come on in there and win themselves a championship on their rookie max contract. I think we have a problem in the NBA. I am officially on the OKC bandwagon starting today for a repeat. Period. There it is. I believe they can do it. I'm gonna nominate them, not based on even their individual talents, but sometimes one thing about Magic that he brought, people don't realize this. And Bird, yeah, they came together, but you know what they brought? Personality. Magic put that team together. Magic made it fun to play with him. That's why they ran so hard for Magic, because he would get that ball to him. Bird hustle. Cornbread Maxwell was a star. Remember that? Bird got in that starting lineup and earned his right. So I think SGA did that with these young bloods, man. I think we have a problem. They know they can win. So you young, you know you can win. You got time on your side. You got a rookie max contract. You're not even worried about your money. I think we have a problem.
You got a good point, because they got picks out the yang.
They got like 10 more picks over the next couple of years.
Yes, number one picks.
They don't have to spend no money.
Number three first round picks next year. Innocent.
Hey, Larry, you know what else is cool about them? They switch on defense all the way around, which means that they don't have to worry about any kind of mismatch. They go crazy on defense. Have we ever seen a number one defense team like that? We got to understand. And listen, Shane Gilgeous-Alexander is so old school, Jerry. I'm going to make sure my 76 Fleetwood is out there with the curtains right now. You know what I'm saying? That boy is mid-range. Listen, I would give me some platforms, go watch Superfly. That brother is just old school. We got to love him. We got to love him. The way he's playing that game, the mid-range, he's killing them from 15, 20 feet.
Go down. What you think about the three trio?
Like I said, I think they need a little time. We could talk about all that, but you got to remember, a healthy Indiana team might would have beat them.
Oh,
I don't think so.
Maybe. We'll never know. When your superstar go down, not too many teams win there. And they superstar.
You got that right. You got a good point.
All right. Okay, listen, since you talked about Bruce said Michael Jordan was perfect, he had to be perfect, and Scottie didn't have to. Now, I know Isaiah Thomas is a hater, against Michael Jordan. But you guys agree with this? Isaiah Thomas said, let me remove this other one first, so you can read it. Let me hide that. Isaiah Thomas said Scottie Pippen and Tony Kukoc were good enough to win championships without Michael Jordan. Bruce,
that's crazy.
They didn't.
Only thing I can say is they didn't.
They didn't.
No, they didn't. They had a chance.
That's all I can say.
Michael played with him. Michael played with him for us, except for that one little.
That was their chance right there.
Their chance.
Well, Michael never won without Scott either. Yeah. So he never won without Scott either.
Yeah.
So I'm saying,
but see, usually when a person make a statement like that, it's no proof whether they could or couldn't, because they never did it. But they did it. They did it and lost. So he can't say that. How many games he talk about? If they did it, if they played the first year Mike was out and they didn't win it, and they didn't win it the second year when Mike came back, would he come back at the end of the season the second year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they still went out in the playoffs, right?
Indiana took them out. Yeah.
Now, how many years Isaiah talking about it's going to take for Kukoc and Pippen to win it?
Well, you know what?
You
know what? They might have been talented enough, but Scottie wasn't going to have it, because you got to remember, Tony Kukoc signed on and was making more money than Scottie Pippen. Scottie was underpaid. There was an opportunity for Scottie Pippen to take the last shot. Phil Jackson gave it to Tony Kukoc. Kukoc hit that shot. Scottie Pippen wasn't going out there. They didn't have that harmony. Michael Jackson also was the glue to put them together. Michael Jordan was such a player that he literally knew the temperament of a Dennis Rodman and signed off and let him go away to Las Vegas. There's a lot of things that go on to winning these championships that have a lot to do with camaraderie. Tony Kukoc and Scottie Pippen were not going to win a championship together. In the Olympics, Scottie Pippen tried to take him out when they played. He just went at him. So Scottie Pippen was not a fan of Tony Kukoc. Have you ever heard him mention Tony Kukoc's name in any interview?
Yeah, but you know why? You know why they couldn't win it together? They might have had the talent, but the reason they couldn't win it together because Scotty was jealous of Kukoc.
That's what I'm saying. Have you
know
ever
what I
heard
mean?
him mention it? Yeah.
And when you got two players on the team like that, that's so important to the team, and they're jealous of each other, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the owner's fault and the coach's fault. I mean, the owner paid him more money than the coach would have been for the last shot. What do you think? Has Scotty been the star all them years? How was he supposed to feel?
Yeah, I agree, but still, you got to win.
Yeah.
But okay, but Kendall, if you threw Dennis Rodman in there, I mean, we know Michael was the superstar that brought him over the hump. We know that. Michael was that superstar they needed. But if you threw Dennis Rodman in there with Scotty, Tony Kukoc, you don't think that they could win one championship? No.
I think they're good enough. I think they're good enough to win it. I think personally, but I think they have the talent to do it. I believe that. Yeah, but I don't think Scottie Pippen was going to take a backseat to Kukoc. I just think that they had that dynamic.
Kukoc for
because Phil everybody favored Kukoc.
No, that was that one play. That was that one shot.
Kukoc was the man a lot. He was the man a lot. Now Scotty was Scotty, but Kukoc was the man a lot. And when you pay somebody, if they pay one person more than you pay me, and I've been on the team all this time, you go, come on, man. There's gonna be some hard feelings there.
I know Scotty signed the contract.
Yeah, but
they told him not to sign it.
But he got dogged on the contract, and you think he felt good about that?
No.
When he asked for more money, they wouldn't even give it to him.
Well, Michael was underpaid too. Michael was underpaid all them years.
But Michael didn't complain. Scotty did.
Oh, well, Michael Jordan's mother wanted Michael to sit out. Michael said, "No, I signed the contract."
Yeah.
Because Elijah said, Elijah threatened the Houston Rockets. He was going to sit out, and they would renegotiate his contract. Okay. Michael had the power. He just didn't use the power.
But don't forget, Jerry.
Hold on, Bruce.
If Pittman had a Nike contract, he might would have felt better. Let's be real.
And
he earned it.
And Don, that's what Alvarez said, Don. Michael Jordan had Nike backing him up. Pippen didn't.
Yeah, Mike had a lot more money.
It might have been in his contract back then that he had to play so many games because, Nike wasn't developed. They was getting ready to go out of business before Mike signed with him.
And see that? You brought up the most important point. The Air Jordan, which is still the all-time #1 greatest sneaker of all time, Sonny Vaccaro and the rest of those guys, Phil Knight.
Kendall, for the Dallas Cowboys, what was your running back Bruce's name again? The runner Emmitt Smith.
Yeah.
He started the first 2 games, all right, of the Cowboys season because he wanted more.
0-2.
Boy Aikman said, "We need Emmitt Smith."
Yep.
They immediately renegotiated that contract.
Right.
Michael Jordan had the same power. If him and Scotty would have sat out and Michael would have led to sit down, trust me, they would have went back to the table and they would have gave him another contract.
That's true. And guess what? And Jerry.
Huh?
And don't forget, when Emmitt Smith came off that bench, his first play, Monday Night Football, he took it to the house.
Right.
First play.
And Elijah threatened the Houston Rockets because he was underpaid. If he didn't get more money, he was going to sit out. And they immediately brought him in there and gave him what he wanted.
Scotty should have sought out.
No, but Scotty had to do.
They shut him out again, huh?
Yeah. But
we got our own show now.
We sure do.
We do.
Sports Talk.
Sports Talk. Here we roll. We go.
Every moment moves.
But listen, think about this. Like I said, with Scottie Pippen and Tony Kukoc, Scotty wasn't going for it, man. He wasn't. He wasn't going to cooperate with that.
That's the difference. That's what I'm saying.
That was the difference right there.
Right.
And Michael Jordan was also part of the establishment. He didn't speak out against the sneakers or nothing like that. And what did Michael Jordan end up being? An owner. See, you can think about it. Those other ones that spoke out, they're not let into those rooms and stuff. Michael Jordan was a shrewd businessman, and I believe, he had a long-term plan. He was the first athlete that's a billionaire over Tiger Woods, over LeBron James. LeBron James is a billionaire while playing. Tiger Woods became a billionaire after Michael Jordan. So, maybe it was a money play when it came to Michael Jordan. Maybe it was about sneakers. Maybe he had to play.
What did he say? What Mike said? Mike said Republicans buy my sneakers too.
Yep, that's what he said.
Listen, Scotty should have sat out and not worry about it. See, Michael was the reason why Scotty didn't sit out, because he said you need to play. Scotty should have manned up. He didn't make a lot of money, so he felt like if I lose this little bit of money, I'm going to be broke. But Scotty should have called their bluff. He should have sat out. Somebody would have picked Scotty up later on and paid him some money.
But that's what Scotty.
He should have never.
Yeah,
Never.
but Don,
I agree with Jerry. I agree with Jerry.
Huh? But Scotty had a surgery going into the season because that was the way of sitting out.
Right,
He wanted to show the Bulls,
right.
no, I'm not gonna have no surgery in the summer. I'm gonna wait till almost season start, and that's what Michael was mad about. Well, I'm saying Michael never used his power, or the power that he had to get them guys paid. Michael,
I agree with that.
But
I agree with that, Jerry.
yeah, but you know what else? People don't realize this also. Scottie Pippen also had a father in a wheelchair, and he had a whole bunch of medical bills. He signed for that $16 million, you know what I mean? Because he wanted to take care of his family. It was kind of wrong for them to lowball him like that, because especially under those reasons, you know, the guy signed a contract just so he can get money for his family. You could renegotiate with that guy. You know, Scotty just didn't have the opportunity to sit out because he had medical bills with his father. And that's on the last dance.
Jordan could have helped him. I agree with Jerry 100% on that.
Hey, Bruce.
I agree with you 100% on that. If Mike would have said, look, we need Scotty, that's like they say did with Emmitt Smith. You know what I mean? I agree with that 100%, man.
Yeah.
Look, he the man. Mike was the man. Look, we need Scotty. What y'all doing, man? Come on.
Yeah.
But look at this, too. They told Scotty not to sign that contract. Scotty was desperate in signing it. Scotty didn't listen to people either.
That's true.
They told him not to sign that contract. He signed it. And Michael could have backed him up, but we see now, when we saw it then, how Michael really feel about Scotty, so let's be real.
Even Matthew signed the contract in his rookie year, I think, $1 million a year for 25 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Now how long would that last for 25 years? You know, they immediately changed that.
And they renegotiated it for him.
Huh?
Jerry Buss renegotiated that, you know.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, if your owner's not going to renegotiate, like Jerry Jones and Jerry Reinsdorf for the Bulls, that's when your star players got to get together and say, listen, we're going to sit it out.
Hey, Jerry,
I think he would have been all right, though. He didn't man up. That's the main thing.
I go ahead, Bruce.
This is a perfect example of what just happened with OKC with the owner. He saw the value in all three of them guys. Two of them guys, not SGA, but the other two still on their rookie contract, you know.
Yeah.
They don't usually take care of a player like that. Never mind two at the same time for $280 million. Right. This owner said, look, man, we got our core and we ain't messing around with them. We see what they're about. They're the champs. We're going to keep them in our building.
There you go. There you go.
What I mean?
This is 55. I'm not going to keep you guys all night, but Kendall, this is Tracy McGrady saying, replace me with Kobe.
I saw that.
This with Shaq. You agree with Tracy McGrady?
Sure.
I'm not sure because Kobe was a special breed. I believe Tracy McGrady is a great player, but Kobe and Michael had that killer instinct. Tracy was more lackadaisical. He could score. I mean, not knocking him. Probably win some championships. He probably wins a championship, but I don't think Tracy McGrady was the level of Kobe. I believe that Kobe is mentioned simultaneously with Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Kobe is probably one of the 5 or 10 greatest player to play the game. So if we name some players, greatest player to play the game, let's say we say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and let's say we say Wilt Chamberlain, let's just say we say Shaq. We're definitely going to put Kobe, LeBron, and Michael in that conversation. We're not putting Tracy McGrady in that conversation.
I got Larry here too, but how can he be in that conversation as the top 3 and he's not the greatest Laker? I mean, if you're not the greatest player on your team, how can he be in the top 3 of all time?
No, I said that people, when you go into the conversation, for me, I consider Magic Johnson the greatest Laker. But when you have a conversation.
No. How can he be the greatest Laker? And Kobe was on the Lakers as well. But you would put Kobe in the GOAT conversation with Michael.
No, listen, that's what I'm saying. Jerry. I'm just saying, I'm comparing Tracy McGrady and Kobe Bryant, and I'm just going to go with general conversations. If when people have conversations, that's not us as prognosticators. Magic Johnson is the greatest point guard to play the game, as far as I'm concerned. But when you have a conversation, when you have a conversation of greatest players that ever played, so Tracy McGrady is saying, "Put me on the team with Shaq, and I win the same trophy, the championships as Kobe." So what Tracy McGrady has done is compared himself to Kobe, and I believe Tracy McGrady's a great player, but I don't think he's a Kobe. I don't think he's like top line. Kobe, as far as shooting guards are concerned, Kobe's number one for this generation and number two for our generation, pretty much. I don't see Tracy McGrady there. I don't see him winning as many as Kobe won with Shaq.
But I don't see Tracy McGrady comparing himself to Kobe. I see Tracy McGrady saying, look, I figure I'm just as good as Kobe. I'm not comparing myself to Kobe. I figure my game with the same team that Kobe had, put me in there and we win the same thing, if not more.
I know, that's what he's saying.
I think I'm just that good. I'm not even looking at Kobe game. I think I'm good enough to lead the same team that Kobe led to a championship. I could have done it with that same exact team. Only difference is me instead of Kobe. He's not comparing himself to Kobe. He's saying, I feel like I'm just as good and could have done the same thing.
Oh, Bruce, this is the guy that never got out of the first round. Keep that in mind.
Listen, who did he have playing with him?
Yeah, he had players.
Who? Who did he have? Did he have a Shaq?
No, he didn't have with because Kobe really made.
Who was his superstar player with him?
Well, he had a chance to play with his cousin Vince Carter. He didn't want to play with him.
Yes, he did.
Come on now.
He had a chance to play with Vince Carter. He wanted his own team.
You know they're gonna need more than him and Vince Carter. Who was their big man? You need a big man back then.
Kobe still wanted his own team and went and got I wish y'all would stop comparing Tracy McGrady to Kobe.
I can't do that.
It's no comparison.
No comparison.
It's no comparison.
He ain't got the credentials. He ain't got none.
Listen, that's why I said that, Don. I said it's no comparison. He's only saying, I feel like with my talent, I could have accomplished the same thing. That's not saying that I'm better than Kobe. That's saying that with my talent, with the same team, I could accomplish the same thing he did.
That's comparing.
A lot of people look at it, they say if it was Kansas City, any quarterback can do it.
Well, Larry.
Just like quarterbacks look at Kansas City and say, if I was on Kansas City, I could do that. You can. You know, it looked like you can do it, but when you actually get out there, it's totally different.
Yeah, well, isn't that the same thing as Scottie Pippen saying that? I mean, Isaiah Thomas saying that Scottie and them and Kukoc could have won.
Right? Same.
Yeah.
Ain't that the same thing?
I think it's the same.
You know what I mean? They're not comparing themselves to Mike. They're saying that with their talent, they could accomplish the same thing. That's all.
In his head, but it's not real. It's not real.
Yeah, well, whether it's real or not, he believes it's real.
He's comparing himself to Kobe there. He's the Kobe there. That's what he's doing. He's comparing himself to Kobe. And
no, he's not. I wouldn't say that.
But he was nothing like Kobe. Kobe, after Shaq left, Kobe got one in.
Got two.
He got two.
Back to back.
I don't see Tracy McGrady doing that at all. Because why didn't he take his team that he had and prove himself with that?
That's why
and listen to this. Hey, Jerry, Kobe won 2 championships with Andrew Bynum, Derek Fisher, and Lamar Odom in the starting lineup, and none of them are Hall of Famers.
Right.
Paul Gasol was in that lineup, but still, he won championships with those 3.
Yeah, but he's a Hall of Famer too.
Huh?
He's a Hall of Famer.
No, Paul Gasol is. That's why I named the other 3. The other 3 are not. Paul Gasol's in the Hall of Fame. But I'm saying Kobe Bryant won championships with Andrew Bynum, Lamar Odom, and Derek Fisher. And they are not in the Hall of Fame, and neither of them are going to make it to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but like Don said, you can't take nothing. You can't take nothing away from Kobe.
Nah, he's something different.
We're not trying to do that. I'm just saying that that's my opinion. I'm just saying that the way I saw it was Tracy McGrady saying I was good enough to accomplish the same thing. I don't see it as a comparison.
Well,
That's just me. I don't see it as a comparison. Same way, don't nobody see it as a comparison. How Pippen being better than Jordan if they say he could win in that same spot. They're not saying Pippen better than Jordan.
Listen for a minute. Listen to yourself, even. That's comparing yourself. No matter how you watch it around, that's comparison. I don't care how you watch it. That's comparison. If in that same situation, he's comparing himself to Kobe. That's comparison.
As he is.
That's comparison. But you can't watch that.
That's it.
He's saying replace me with Kobe Bryant.
And I'll do it.
I don't see it that way. That's my opinion.
I don't believe it.
Y'all got your opinion. I got my opinion. I don't see it that way.
There's a right opinion and a wrong opinion, though.
Yeah, but who's to say who's right and wrong? Not y'all.
Now, this is my last one. LeBron James says LeBron James is the greatest player to ever put on a Miami Heat jersey. That's what Dwayne Wade said about LeBron. You agree with that?
Sure.
Larry, I'm asking you.
Do I believe that?
Yeah.
Yes, as far as talented, yes. Yes, I do.
What else you gonna base it on?
As far as his talent, yes.
What else you gonna base it on?
He was a better player than Wade. There's no doubt about that. And he was the best player that Miami Heat ever had.
Exactly.
What about you, Kendall? You agree with Dwayne Wade?
Dwayne Wade said it, brother. I mean, Dwayne Wade, the greatest Miami Heat player to play, is saying this. So if there's anyone that can say that, it would be him. I cannot doubt anything that comes out of his mouth. And that's a humble player right there. That's why they won championships. Think about it. Dwayne Wade was the one who took the pay cut. Dwayne Wade recruited Chris Bosh and LeBron James and took a back seat and told, after they lost to Dallas, told LeBron, you got to take over. This is his team. Wade, we even call it Wade County. So these are the intangibles I talk about. But if Dwayne Wade said it, then I'm not going to doubt him. He's one of the greatest players ever played.
Go ahead, Bruce. What you think, bro? You agree with that?
I agree. I agree. I mean, who else? Who would you pick over him?
Yeah. They have a statue of him in Miami. They got one of D Wade.
Who would you pick? Who would you pick over LeBron for the best player that ever played for Miami? Who would you pick over him?
Nobody.
You said Dwayne Wade is better than LeBron?
No, he gave his team to LeBron.
Who would you pick? Who would you pick? First of all, do you agree with what Dwayne Wade said?
Yeah,
he the best player that ever wore Miami?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. And you don't give your team
discussion then.
If that's your team, you're not gonna give it away to anybody. You're not giving it away.
No, it ain't that he gave it away. He looking at the better man.
But he gave his team away. It was his team.
Same way Steph did with Durant. Exact same thing.
Yep. Exact same thing.
Exact same thing. No different.
And Durant got both MVPs. But guess what? Steph Curry was wise enough to do something like that because Steph Curry knew how to play off the ball. He went for the championships, you know.
All right.
Same thing with Dwayne Wade. He knew who he had.
Yep.
He had the best player.
That still didn't stop him from being Flash.
I think that's a no-brainer, especially if Dwayne Wade said it.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
Oh, yeah.
If it wasn't for LeBron James, I would have picked Dwayne Wade.
Hey, Jerry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Easy.
Jerry.
Yep.
This is not sports, but this is the same situation. I'm in the process of doing a play, and talk to Yolanda, your daughter. Guess what I said? Take over. Because guess what? I know that she's probably better at this than I would be, because I'm a team player. I want to win the championship. Guess what? You know what I'm saying? So if Dwayne Wade said it, yeah, and he's got championships. He won one without him.
Right. What I was saying with Dr. J and Moses Malone too. When Moses came on the scene, he was the better player. And
that's right.
Doc needed a chance. I understand what y'all saying. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. All right. Well, we had a great show, man. 7:06. I'm not gonna keep you guys long. I'm gonna close out in prayer tonight. So you guys ready? Unless you got another topic. I don't want to.
We want to listen.
You want to say?
You got another topic?
Larry, you got something you want to say?
No, we're good.
No.
Well, we're going to have time, but I did want to bring up the NBA some about how, there's a lot of guards out there still left.
Yeah,
we talk about Damian Lillard and all those guys. Right. And, it's just something, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen. with these guards because they got some decent ones out there, man. Is anybody gonna want Westbrook? Oh, that's a big question.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know why Westbrook.
Damian Williams.
Hey, Don,
Huh?
you know how when Steph first started really getting down and people started getting away from the big man and start going towards the guard? That's what's happening right now. They're getting rid of all the old guards and they see what OKC did with young players. And they lining all the old guys up right now, and it can be a domino effect. They're gonna push one and gonna knock all of them out the door.
Man.
Makes sense, Bruce. It makes sense.
Bruce,
Give it all the old guys.
give it the old.
You see that whole list number of old guys, man.
I'm at the Flyer Tuesday.
Because they know them guys gonna beat these young boys.
They can walk my brother
Right.
behind
Exactly.
and Anthony, so they can chime in on that too. All right, you guys. Let me close out in prayer. We had a good show, man. I really enjoyed it, man.
Yeah.
Father God, we thank you for another sports talk on a Friday night edition. Thank each and everyone that's viewing us, Father God, and make sure you get all the glory behind this sports talk show. Thank you for Brother Bruce, Kendall, our brother-in-law Larry, Donald, and those who couldn't make it tonight, Lord. Bless them as well as we go forward. Bless those on Facebook that's viewing us, also on KMI Television Network and WJRG Big Time Production. We give you all the praise, all the glory in Jesus' name. Amen and amen.
Amen.
You on Tuesday night now?
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Get ready.
Be there.
Larry, I need some more football sports. You too,
Yes,
Kendall.
sir.
Yes,
I
sir.
get it for you.
That was good.
Watch them Cowboys and the Chiefs, Super Bowl.
He's in the Cowboys like me.
Right quick. Anybody watching, Babine?
Come on, basketball, or football.
Yeah, summer league in basketball.
I watch
I'm
some-
watching.
I'm
I'm
watching
watching.
the Knicks in Detroit right now.
Pretty good because you had Brian.
An exciting fight comes on tonight. Taylor and Serrano on Netflix.
I saw that it's coming on.
You saw it, did you, Bruce?
Yeah. Hey, Bronny James shut Flag down.
I don't know.
Freddie James ain't doing jack.
Yeah, he did. He shut him down. He didn't score a point in the second half.
Get that with Tuesday, all right? Great show tonight, y'all. All right,
Flag
All
got
right.
7 inches on him. Bronny shut him right down.
all right, Bruce. All right, Bruce. All right.